Whether you're trying to complete tasks, be a cheeky little ratman, or you just like sniping in other FPS games, then chances are good that you'll pick up a sniper rifle at some point during your time in Escape from Tarkov. So today I want to give you 3 basic tips that will make your sniping experience easier. If you're new here, my name is Will. I've been streaming Tarkov for about 2 years. I've racked up over 1,000 hours in that time, and this is the channel where I post my streams, clips, and guides like this one. So if that's something you want to see, or you find any of the upcoming tips helpful, make sure you remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So tip number 1 is to always adjust your zero. For those that don't know what that means, your gun's zero is the distance at which your shot will hit the point that you're aiming at. So if your gun's zero is set to 100 meters and you're shooting at a target who's 200 meters away, your bullet will be quite a bit lower than where you're aiming by the time it travels 200 meters. Thankfully, they gave us the option to adjust the zeros on our guns in Escape from Tarkov, so we don't have to guess at how much our bullets will drop from shot to shot. So it's important that we use the tools they gave us because it makes sniping so much easier than trying to play all that guesswork. If you want to see what range your gun is zeroed to when you're running around in Tarkov, then anytime you aim down sights or change guns, you can simply look in the bottom right corner of the screen. That is the number your gun will be zeroed at. If you want to adjust what range your gun is zeroed out to, then by default you have to aim down sights and press either the page up or page down keys to raise and lower the range respectively. And believe me when I say it's super important to get in the habit of this because it just removes so much guesswork from your shots. And this wipe has only been going on for a couple weeks at this point, and I've already missed so many shots because I saw a guy in my scope, I got excited, and I just took the shot without checking what I was zeroed out to. So I was shooting someone 200, 300 meters away with a 50-meter zero and just trying to guess where my bullet would go. And those shots that could have been really easy one-taps were actually much more difficult to finish off. And sometimes I couldn't even finish them myself. So if you're in a position where you're trying to snipe, always be aware of what you're zeroed to. And if you see a target that's not within a reasonable range of that zero, say like 20 to 50 meters either way, then it's just about always going to be worth it to take the time to adjust that before you fire. Now you might be wondering how you're supposed to tell what range you should zero your guns out based on what you're looking at. Because sometimes it is hard to tell whether a target is 140 meters away or like 190. Thankfully, Tarkov gave us a way to figure that out too, and that's called the Vortex Ranger 1500 Rangefinder. It's just a little handheld sight that you can equip on your character, and if you pull it out during a raid, you can look through it and it will simply tell you exactly how far away the thing that you're looking at is. So if there's ever a time where you're not sure how far something is from you, you can just pull that out, check, and that will give you all the information you need to make accurate adjustments to your zero. Thankfully, they made the rangefinder really easy to come by. All you have to do is unlock the trader Jaeger, and you can buy it from him at loyalty level 1 for a couple thousand rubles. And if you want to bring it into a raid, you simply put it in your pockets, your rig, or one of your 3 special slots. And then you can assign it a hotkey between the number keys 4 and 0, and then you press whatever hotkey you gave it, and you'll put your gun away and pull it out. One important thing to note is if you are going to bring one, I highly recommend you put it in your special slot, because if you die while it's in your pockets or your rig, then you'll lose the rangefinder and you'll have to go buy another one. But if it's in your special slot, even if you die, you won't lose it. It'll still be there. The way I tend to use rangefinders myself is that when I'm going into a raid with sniping in mind, usually I'll be thinking of a couple of spots that I want to snipe from on whatever map I go to. And then immediately after getting there, I'll pull out the rangefinder and pick a couple spots in my field of vision where I think targets might be coming through. I'll check the range on those couple spots and memorize the numbers that I see, and then put my rangefinder away, pull the gun back out, and just keep those numbers in mind. That way, if I do see someone run into my field of vision, if it's anywhere near any of those points that I looked at, I'll already have a pretty good idea of exactly how far they are from me. So that way I can adjust my zero confidently and take the shot knowing that my bullet's going to go pretty close to where I'm aiming at that range. That leads us to tip number 3, which is to be aware of your gun's default ammo type. Each gun in Escape from Tarkov has a specific type of ammo within its caliber that is meant to be fired from it. And because that's the type of ammo that's meant to be fired from that gun, it's the only type of ammo that sight adjustments will be perfectly accurate for. So when you zero your gun, if you're using a type of ammo that varies too greatly from the default ammo type of the gun, then there may be a noticeable difference between where you're aiming and where the shot actually goes. 90% of the time, this doesn't make that much difference because most of the ammo types within each caliber are pretty similar to each other, but there are a couple ammo types within a couple calibers that are just weird compared to the rest. So if you're using one of those weird ones, then it can mess up your shots unless you know that you're using a weird one. So first of all, the way you check your gun's default ammo type is to go to the Escape from Tarkov wiki and find the page for your gun. It'll list the default ammo type in the information card under where it shows the little picture. So if you want your sight adjustments to be perfectly 100% accurate all of the time, then you can just use that specific type of ammo. Now, if you're using a gun that has a kind of bad default ammo type, it's not always bad to deviate from the listed ammo type, but it's important to know how far you're deviating from it, basically. And you can check that by going to the page for the caliber of bullet that your gun fires. That'll show you all the different stats of all the different ammo types within the caliber. So what you want to check here is you want to compare the muzzle velocity of the default ammo type and the ammo type that you're using. So if you're using a ammo type that differs like 100 meters per second or less from the default ammo type, then your shots are still going to be pretty accurate. It's when the difference in muzzle velocity gets more than that that you want to be adjusting your aim even after adjusting your zero. So for example, the VPO 215 is a bolt action rifle that fires 366 TKM. Its default ammo type is EKO, which has a decently high muzzle velocity, but one of the better ammo types in that caliber is called APM, and it has a much lower muzzle velocity compared to EKO, and APM also gives a penalty to accuracy. So it's really hard to snipe at long distances with that ammo type out of that gun, because even if you do adjust your sight, the bullet's going to go quite a bit lower, and that ammo type generally just isn't as accurate anyways. It's worth familiarizing yourself with the differences in the ammo types within each caliber as you go along, because that will give you a better idea of why your shots may not be going always perfectly where you're aiming. So I know that's a lot to take in, but it's important for you to know if you want to have as easy a time sniping as possible. So to make up for that complicated tip, I'll give you guys one that's a little more simple. If you're using bolt action rifle and you want to see where your shot lands or whether or not it hit or killed the guy or whatever, you can delay the animation where your character recharges the bolt of the gun by not lifting the left mouse button after you fire. If you just keep holding it, your character will not start the animation to reload the gun until after you let go of the button, which means you get to keep looking through your scope and seeing how your target reacted to your shot. So yeah, these are just some basic mechanical tips, but following them can make a world of difference in the accuracy of your sniping in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you for watching. If you found any of these tips helpful, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and come see me in another video sometime.